What is up, everyone? This is Michael217 and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Red. Last episode, we went through the power plant and caught Zapdos. And that's not the only thing we caught, though. We also caught a Voltorb, level 40, and after thinking about it since the last video went up, I decided that I am actually probably going to use that on my final team. I double-checked online to make sure Charizard can learn Fly in first gen, and yes it can. It can learn Fly in red and blue. So I will be replacing Pidgeotto with Voltorb, because Voltorb could really come in handy once they get to Elite Four and then on, because not only because of its high speed and ability to use electric moves. I'm probably going to teach it Thunder. I found out that there's no other way to... What am I doing? I just kind of got to my screen here, but I found out I was hoping I could teach it Thunderbolt, because it doesn't learn Thunderbolt level up. Strangely enough, despite being an electric type, it doesn't learn any electric moves level up, I don't think. I looked it up. It doesn't learn Thunderbolt or Thunder. I think it may learn Thunder Shock, I'm not sure. But I was hoping that I could find a way to find another HM24 for Thunderbolt and then teach it that. And then teach Thunder to Snorlax, because Snorlax's special stat isn't all that great, and also it's not Stab, meaning Thunderbolt, so making it a little bit more of a more powerful version of itself would be better, because Thunder is like 120 base power. The problem behind it is that it has very low accuracy, kind of annoying. So I would have rather had it on Snorlax, but it looks like I'm going to have no choice but to put Thunder on Voltorb, so I can have a nice stab electric move on, and it'll be pretty powerful. But the other thing is, one of Electrode's key, or I should say, not key, but signature moves is Explosion. And it's one of the few Pokemon in the original 150 that actually get Explosion, right? Like, who else gets it? I mean, Golem I know does, and I'm pretty sure Gengar does, but not a whole lot in first gen and get Explosion. And of course, Electrode's like the fastest Pokemon in the game here, right? So, it's the fastest Explosion user in the game. But I mean, the speed doesn't really matter, just the sheer power of Explosion is going to really come in handy, despite the fact I'm, of course, killing myself in the process. If I ever need to, I will use Explosion on certain things in the Elite Four that I just can't take. Because the thing is one trainer, the fourth trainer in Elite Four, uses Dragon-type Pokemon, and I don't really have much to deal with those. Typically it's kind of early to talk about this, but typically you want to go into that with some kind of Ice type. But those are kind of hard to come by in this game. And actually, what we're going to be doing pretty soon is finding Articuno. And of course, like I said, I'm not going to be using the legendary birds, but I remember when I was a kid playing this game, I used to always get Articuno because it kicked ass in the fourth member of the Elite Four lands. He uses a bunch of dragons whose only really weakness are Ice types and also other Dragon types. So I'm probably not going to have any Ice moves unless I decide to get something that can use it effectively. There's still a Lapras that was sent to my PC that I never looked at, but I don't think it's going to be high enough level to really... I mean, of course I can always grind it back up, but I'm too lazy to do that. So, okay, so now that we are 99% sure that we're going to be saying goodbye to Pidgeot, which is really sad because it's the first Pokemon we ever actually caught. The second Pokemon added to our team, I think. Did Nidoran come? I think a Nidoran might have come before. If you're just tuning in, for a pretty decent chunk of this Let's Play, I did have a Nidorino. It was mostly a Nidorino. I didn't evolve it until I decided I was going to get rid of it. And I caught it really early in the Let's Play. and I replaced that with Snorlax. So now I'm thinking of replacing Pidgeot with Voltorb, strangely enough, which, by the way, will evolve on its first level up. It's level 40 right now. I called it level 40, and it's supposed to evolve into Electrode at level 30, I think. So it's going to evolve once it levels up. I'm not going to worry about using it right now, even though this is a good place to use it, because it's a bunch of water types. The thing is, it's just higher level than everything else, and by the time I get to Cinnabar, I should have everyone up to 40. Except for Pidgeot. I'm probably not going to be using Pidgeot much, because I'm not going to be using it anymore. So that's pretty much it. The thing I have to figure out what to do, though, is since I'm going to need a fly user, I'm going to need to put fly in Charizard, of course, and I don't know if I'm going to delete Strength or not. I want to put Earthquake on him just because it's cool, and I just think it'd be really cool using an Earthquake Charizard. Earthquake could come in handy later on, I'm not entirely sure. Of course, their trio is going to be learning Earthquake at level 49, so it's going to be my main Earthquake user. But I wouldn't mind having a second one. So I kind of want Charizard to learn Earthquake in place of Dig, even though Dig's not that bad. But, you know, eventually once I get my Earthquake TM... where are you? There you are. And then I'm probably going to teach it Charizard. That was my plan a long time ago, to teach Charizard Earthquake. And, but now that I'm thinking about teaching it Fly, I'm probably have to get rid of Strength. But of course I'm going to need a Strength user, and the only other viable option on my team to use Strength is Sorax. He's the only one who's actually capable on this team of using Strength. I should not be using Dark Trio against these guys as water types. Let's just slash this and get Dark Trio out of here. I kind of don't want him to get bombed by a Surf. Oh, they probably won't be using Surf. They'll be using Water Gun. So they're going to hurt. Oh, actually, it didn't do it all that much anyway. Yeah, we're pretty we're pretty high up there now. We could have done this a long time ago. Like I said, you can do a lot of stuff in different orders in this game. But, you know, I never really thought about that, because I always do this game in the same order. I've never done this game in, like, a different order, doing the gyms in a different order. But, yeah, that's pretty much what's going on right now, is I'm likely, again, 99% sure that I'm going to replace Pidgeot with Voltorb, because Pidgeot's not going to be that useful. The only thing it's useful for is flying, and maybe revenge killing. Well, revenge killing, I don't even know. If you don't know what I mean by revenge killing, it just means that whenever a Pokemon of mine dies, it just basically, a revenge killer is somebody who comes in and kills the Pokemon that took down yours, because you assume that's going to be low health. So, I don't know. But then again, that doesn't really come into play much here, because I'm not really counting on dying that much. I will once I get to the Elite Four, but still, revenge killing is not that big of a deal, because they have potions and stuff. So, yeah, the only thing it's used for is flying, and that's it. And, you know, the flying type isn't that good of an offensive type. I'm going to try to fight out a bunch of trainers here, which is kind of tedious. Yeah, the worst areas in all the Pokemon games, I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me with this, definitely. The worst areas are definitely the surfing areas, because of all the wild encounters, but I do want to get some battles in here. I want to try to get pretty much all of them. I don't want to miss too many. So, that's the plan here. But yeah, the plan in the long run with the whole Voltorb replacement thing is, once I get to Cinnabar, I'm going to look closely into how I'm going to work around changing moves around one of my guys and putting Fly on Charizard and figuring out who's going to be using Strength. And then go from there. Because I'm figuring by the time I get to Cinnabar, everyone should be around level 40, and Voltorb should be able to blend in, so to speak, with everyone else. Because he's level 40. So yeah, so this is the last little series of episodes that we'll have our old friend Pidgeot playing along with us. Very sad, but it's just like Ash, Ash in the cartoon show saying goodbye to its Pidgeot, even though he didn't really have that close of a connection to its Pidgeot, from what I remember. It was just kind of there, They didn't. I mean, it's stupid for me to say this about a Pokemon in the cartoon show, but they didn't really develop the character. I know that sounds stupid. It's all they do is just say their names. They don't really have much of a character, but then again, they kind of do. Now that I think about it, the Pokemon in the anime kind of do have like a personality. At least a few of them do. Some of them don't, but including the Pidgeot. Early on in the anime, they didn't have a whole lot of personality to them, from what I remember. I don't know. I guess they did somewhat. I don't know what I'm talking about. I haven't seen anime in a while, so that's just what I remember. Is like some of them had a personality to them, but some of them didn't. Like the Pidgeot didn't have a personality to it. Why am I using Confusion? I should be using Psychic. I forgot that I had Psychic on this thing. Yeah, like Charizard was all proud, and I was talking about this earlier, how when he was a Charmeleon, he refused to obey Ash, and then later on, once he got to Hoenn, he got the Trico, and it was all cool and stuff. Alright, so we're just going to continue on here. I don't think this is it's pretty wide, actually. I'll fight this trainer and then be done with this episode. I've been talking for... I'm just blabbering on about the same stuff over and over. I tried diving Pokemon, but it was a no-go. Oh, wow, it's a guy? I thought it was a girl. The sprite looks like a chick. And look at this new Pokemon. One of my most hated Pokemon in the game, Seaking, the evolved form of Goldie, took that Thunderbolt very well. But yes, I remember one playthrough where I tried to use a Seaking as my water type instead of my normal Poliwrath, which, funnily enough, I'm not using here. But yep, Seaking, glad to kill this thing, but I hate it. Hate it. Bad memories from that playthrough. That thing did nothing for me. But for whatever reason, I still used it the whole way. I devoted myself using that awful Seaking the whole way. Alright, so this is going to be it for this episode. Sorry about the lack of progress here. I just kind of rambled on and on and on about the whole Voltorb switch thing. But we will continue on with I don't know what number route it is, but I'll just call it the water route. And we'll be heading towards the Seafoam Islands, which cut between this and Cinnabar Island. And hopefully we'll get there in the next episode. Thank you guys for watching. See you then.